Yeah, what's up, bros and brodettes? Welcome into the PHNX Rising Podcast. It's your boy, Max Simpson. I kind of sound like a sheep. I'm trying to sound like a bro.
I'm out.
I'm joined by a man who's totally trying to take it tubular. Go catch some shreddy nar on the coast as we go up to Orange County.
Max, people are tuning out. Just get on with the football, please.
Oh my gosh, this guy. I can't have a fun intro or do anything around here, can I? No?
Was that fun?
Okay.
Was that meant to be fun?
It was fun for me, but anyways, everyone in the chat, I knew you guys were having a good chat.
Jacob, you can moderate this. Was that fun? Producer Jacob?
Verdict?
Just because I have to ride back in a car with him, I'll be nice. Yeah, sure. It was okay.
I'll take the pity.
I'll take Reese in the chat saying, dear Lord.
Also understandable, but we appreciate everyone joining us in the chat on a Wednesday. I know it's definitely a little bit of our different time, but thank you guys for joining us. Got Edward in there, Reese,
How do you
Albert.
delete a live chat, says Edward?
I
don't know what he said.
I don't know
though, 'cause,
technology.
Like, there's something that's not here because he said
Either that or he's having a
Did he
conversation
manage
with
to
himself,
delete it?
which is okay because I've been there. Oh, well, yeah, I do not know technology, but that's okay. We move, as Owen says, we move. We have a lot to chat about today, really in our chat, not just about Orange County on Saturday, but Owen, we had a nice little announcement at
5 a.m. news
reasonable
drop.
time, right?
Thanks,
Super
Tampa.
reasonable. I'm getting hit. It's, I'll give you guys a little snapshot. I wake up at a nice 5:30, get ready for the gym, all that stuff. And my phone is just getting blown up by this man, by Emma, by
I wake up at 5:30 to go to the gym.
I freaking lift, bro. But no, you get all the notifications and you're thinking, first off, it's way too early. But what's going on here? There was a lot to kind of decipher and it kind of hits you out of nowhere. But shoot, there's the USL Super League. What do we?
Well, we knew
let's
the
go.
Super League was coming.
Let's go. But
we
like
knew
here,
the Super
but
League
it's
was
here.
coming.
But it's here.
Yeah, it is here. This is perhaps where I say that, look, I wasn't surprised by things such as Rising being in this league did not surprise me.
Sure.
The league going for Division 1 status did not surprise me. These are things that have been hinted at over a longer period of time behind the scenes, and so it did not shock me when that news came out. I will say that I was shocked when it came out at 5 a.m. in the morning. Thank you, USL HQ. I do like to sleep sometimes, would you believe? I do like to sleep. As do people in other markets in the Pacific time zone at this time of year.
They're on Eastern time, man. 8 a.m. That's
eight. No,
freaking-
do it at a normal time, please.
I don't disagree with you, but that's how they do it.
But anyway, it was a big announcement.
It
So
was.
let's actually talk about the announcement. And
We do. We
should
have
a quick look
nice
at the
little graphic.
We do.
Little graphic kind of detailing everything to look at. So the USL Super League, it's going to be, a USL run professional women's league starting in August 2024. Now, Owen, the different part about this is unlike, traditional soccer here in the lovely States as you so love it. This one is going to be a nice fall to, through the winter as opposed to just going through the summer.
It's going to be a winter league, yeah.
Okay, well, that's...
It didn't need all the dressing up. It'll start in August 2024, okay? It's going to be a Division 1 league. Sanctuary's Division 1. We were initially expecting it to be a D2 league. But over the course of the last year, at some point between the mid-year meetings of last year and now, they decided, no, Division 1. Which means it is going to be going directly head-to-head in some ways with NWSL. Not timing-wise, of course. 8 inaugural teams so far announced. That could increase to 10 or 12. Phoenix and Tucson involved there.
I love that. I mean, there are a couple things to note, kind of based off this announcement. The first one being there is the appetite and it's really tapping into the women's community, not just throughout the country, of course, but really feeding that appetite here in the state. All 4 universities have a women's collegiate soccer program: ASU, U of A, NAU, and GCU. The other thing too, right, if you look at this from a national perspective, 40,000 women 40,000 are playing collegiate soccer, and really within the current model within the US, when you only have NWSL, you only have them vying for 300 professional soccer jobs. Now, granted, there's overseas, but that's really the main route. This just provides another avenue. And like we said, now that they're going D1 straight off the bat, it's something where you are able to really hopefully help the Tide raise all the ships and really put a better product on for NWSL as well as this Super League. And to get to Albert's point earlier, or excuse me, to Edward's point earlier, no, it's not that type of Super League. I don't want this type of cynicism. That's it's a funny shout, but no, this is a whole different.
Well, as I recall, Edward says. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah, not quite the same thing.
The other thing that I really like about this is you're launching in the within a state where you already have a track record of two, communities that love their soccer, and they have that track record of success. Granted, in varying degrees from both an on-field and off-field perspective, but it's something that's still there. I mean, I myself growing up in Oro Valley, it's something where there are players who have come out of there who I, played, at my high school, who played at rival high schools, who have gone on to play big time collegiately. And it's something being able to set that platform for them and having a pathway. That's the biggest thing. It's seeing is believing, and having that ability to say, hey, there's not just the one league that I'm vying for. If I even want a shot at playing professionally, you now have those multiple different touch points and those different leagues. It's a possibility within this state.
Well, you say this, but is NWSL... I mean, this is theoretical now. Mm-hmm. This is for us to actually sit here probably and try and work out, and also see how it unfolds over the future years. Is there going to be an equilibrium where both leagues exist in the long run? Is there? Because it's Division 1, right? This is the point. There's supposed to be a pinnacle. How do you get past this point whereby you won't have a unified national champion?
It's a fair question.
Seriously.
No, it's a fair question. Honestly, this is something we can probably debate, for a while. I mean, I think to me, the different runs within the season, the fact that I think just the way the things are structured, whereas NWSL is its own entity and, USL Super League is part of the greater USL picture. I think it's something where it provides just different ways how you structure it, how you bolster each league. So I think time will tell on that one, but I do believe there's a way where both exist. At least in the short term, long term, maybe a different discussion.
Short term, yes. Long term, I'm not so certain. I don't know. But I will say this. When we actually look at just how quickly the USL Super League has grown from, I think, some of the early concerns around this, I think it was fair to say that a lot of people were still wondering at this stage last year. In fact, even through the media meetings, in July, we had Amanda Vandervoort, the USL Super League president. She actually came on the PHNX Rising podcast during those media meetings. And I got the chance to speak to her about various things. And I think there was a big difference between what was a very vague picture that they were painting publicly and what was, I think, the bigger picture around the league, which was that there was still some concern about quite where they were going with it, or there was still that little bit of, I think, pause to think about, okay, where are we getting these teams from? How are you going to realistically operate a Division 2 league when Division 1, expense-wise, is probably about as low as you can go while being a viable, serious professional league? I think that's partly why this league is now Division 1. Because why would you want to... There's no relegation promotion. Devon
an agent of chaos.
But there was a point whereby why would you pay D1 level expenses and have the stigma that comes with being Division 2 in the US? I think that just how quickly that's turned around, even from a Phoenix perspective here, right? Bill Krause, who is the club governor and recently taken over that mantle back in July of last year. And I spoke to him again on our podcast in July of last year, and he said, well, I understand there's interest in this, but I think that we have to balance the books first. I think that we have to find ways of making more money on the men's side, and then we'll start looking about expanding and taking it seriously on the women's side. In less than a year, that's changed. This thing's been ramping up for the past few months. It's all coming together a little haphazardly, I feel. Still, I don't know if everything is quite as joined up as you'd ideally want it to be. Because nothing ever goes easily in this sport in this country, apparently. There is no straightforward, simple way forward.
You're asking way too much.
Yeah, I'm asking way too much. But at the same time, I think there are still positive signs here, having 8 teams to go. And it's a weird mixed bag. I think we can speak about this here now, about how You've got, in the nicest possible way, Tucson is not what you typically consider a D1 market.
And selfishly, I like it, but it is
Spokane,
an interesting choice.
Neither is Lexington.
Yeah.
These are all places being thrown out there.
Yeah.
And yet, at the same time, you've got other markets that definitely are. Phoenix is. Dallas-Fort Worth. Charlotte. Okay? Tampa. These are places that I can see as serious D1 markets in a footballing sense. Even some of the ones we're going to join later down the line when you got Indianapolis, you've got Oakland, okay? These are places that, but then you contrast that with places like Madison.
Yeah.
It's an interesting mixed bag.
It is.
I'm intrigued to see how it ultimately works out, especially with some of those colder places playing the winter season.
I think it's something where each of those communities you listed, there are varying degrees of a history of men's soccer, whether it be current, whether it be in the past, whether it be upcoming. And it's kind of an interesting mixed bag because, some of those some of those communities, they are playing at the highest level of men's soccer. Some are playing at the USL level. And there's that already established soccer fandom. There are others that it's maybe not as prominent. And, the question, I guess, to me becomes, what does this look like from the fan makeup and where you see people enjoying soccer and how really women's soccer is growing in this country? Because it's easy to say, oh, well, people like soccer and it's, equally promoted, but it's like, and we know it's not always the case. So how can you see within these communities that the women's game is being bolstered, especially in a place like Phoenix, where the appetite is there, where there's already academy system in place, not just in Phoenix, but as well as Tucson? Where does that trickle in? And how do we keep seeing these communities, especially some of the oddball ones you mentioned, really growing, and that this isn't just a weird flash of the pan, but that this is something sustainable?
Well, for a starter, I think the main thing here, you mentioned some of the disparity between the men's and women's side and the professional game as it exists.
It does.
I think one of the biggest things is the fact that they're not cannibalizing themselves. What you often find, the NWSL season running over the summer, there are people who are hardcore that will go and watch their men's and women's side playing at the same time of year.
Yeah.
But it gets a lot. It gets a lot to follow ultimately two teams seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You can follow both, but I'm not sure that you can invest as much in when they're running concurrently.
Yeah.
I think that in this case, because it's over the winter, it's not going to cannibalize itself in quite the same way. Now, I know that a couple of people in the chat earlier were on about when am I going to sleep? And that's a great question. I might just stick my head through the wall at the moment, is how I feel about looking towards just headbutting the wall of when do I catch up on sleep now? When do I catch up on sleep?
I would not recommend that. Well, also,
I like my off season. I get to catch up on sleep, but now we do have actually relevant games coming in a year's time.
Yeah, not till next year.
It's time.
You can stock up on an off season's worth of sleep this off season and just dole it.
I absolutely can't.
Dole it out, over the next couple of years.
I can't. I'm getting some sugar in me because I need it.
But,
I feel as though when you look at, Edward is saying he'd love to see a game in the winter. I agree. I think in Phoenix, in Dallas,
beautiful.
Place it'll be reasonably nice to go out there and catch a game. Tucson will be nice in the winter to go out there and catch a game, probably in the daytime.
Yeah.
I mean, Tucson, you might go down and come back. I don't know. It's
well,
it's close enough. You can.
It is. Well, that's actually
not Albuquerque.
This is something where, listen, if we really want to get ahead of this thing, what would we name the Phoenix Tucson rivalry?
No. Max, these things don't need names, okay?
Whoa!
These things don't need names.
Oh.
I am serious on this one, okay? This is this weird obsession in this country with the idea that they need this corporate hijacking of these derbies. No, they are. And it's all, and why? Because it's the clubs that promote it themselves. They go out there and feel the need, we got to chuck a stupid name on it because that's how we have fun. No, just enjoy the game. Enjoy your hatred of the other team. Why do you need to slap a name on it? Most of them are, when you look around the world, these are names that don't just drop out of nowhere. They took years and years to build up these things. And yet here, it's kind of like trying to play the shortcut game of just, we can chuck a corny name on it. That'll be great. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that with you. You enjoy your corniness, okay? I'm sure you're there, like, absolutely patting yourself on the back almost if you'd have come up with something daft like El Trafico. But it's still a daft name.
Well,
and again, over time, daft names can stick. That can be fine.
You just don't like the idea of doing it right off the bat.
I think it's more the fact that they get overkill. Okay, I think that the idea of these things is they slowly normally seed their way through. As Albert says, it's got to be organic, right? Fair. I think there's a case to be made for the fact that you'll have references over the course of a year without it being something that, say, especially I think the clubs jump on at the first possible opportunity and decide, I want to chuck a name on this.
Yeah, but I think this is something, and I get where you're coming from. I don't want, like, me, the guy who loves cheesy stuff, and something where, you know, again, I'm the partnerships guy. I get that there has to be, you know, like, okay, cool branding, and that's important. I get you want it to be organic. I'm all for that. I think where it sounds like you're coming across is like you wanted something to be building over time and not just chucked out of there, or you think maybe it's coming from the clubs. My perspective is seeing that what if this is something where fans come together, where something that they're able to help contribute to this. And before you try to interject there, I believe this is something that can help be a rallying cry to get things going. I understand that it can come across.
I don't see that. I don't see how that branding helps.
I think, how does it hurt?
Because what's the selling point? The selling point isn't a name of a tournament that you're handing out.
It's not a tournament. It is
that no one has ever heard of.
It's not a tournament.
No one has ever heard of. The real selling point of that game is the fact that it is Phoenix playing Tucson. That's the selling point. Okay, you slap I-10 on there, which half the clubs in the country can do.
Yeah.
All right. And it just doesn't. It's losing it to me. The thing about it is you are playing people that you don't. Would you name the game against New Mexico, or do you just mention about hating Albuquerque and New Mexico? Okay, it doesn't need it. Yeah, it doesn't need it, and that's, I think, as well. That's the thing about it, right? Not every game needs it. Not every game needs it. None of Rising's games really have that. None of them have a name.
But none of them also have the proximity.
Some of them have meaning.
This is a proximity thing. This is something that...
It's the west of the US. Proximity is, like, it's not that... You're not that close to anybody. You're 2 hours away from them. That's not proximity.
That's pretty darn proximity. It's about as close as you can get. I think it's something where I think you're looking at this.
You can drive through multiple countries in some parts of the world.
I think you are looking at this as something that maybe it's only going. You're talking from the people who have been entrenched in these soccer communities, who are already bought in, and I get that. That's fair. I am looking at a place where this is where you can attract people who maybe are newer to the sport. And I'm not saying that a name is going to win them over. I'm not saying that. I get that there has to be...
So do they do that in baseball? Do they do that in ice hockey, really, of any note? Do they do that in American football of any note? Do they do that in basketball of any note? They don't. So why is it that this somehow sells it to an American audience? I don't see that.
Is this an anti-MLS thing? Because like
no, I'm making this as a serious point now, because people do it in USL as well. I feel as though it's nothing to do with selling it. Okay, it's all about this idea of trying to pine on and grab onto a sense of legitimacy that, unfortunately, by the nature of the way they're going about it, isn't the case.
Yeah.
I think it's trying too much to bask in you have a game called El Clasico, which everyone knows what it means, but those things grow over time. You can't just, and I understand what you're saying, whereby you want the fans initially to come up with a name, maybe. But the problem, and this is where it gets the problem for me, is that the fans will start bandying a name around, and before it even sticks properly, the clubs have started corporatizing it. They do. I'm not saying... That's why I just stay out of that. I don't think it's relevant.
And even coming from the corporate guy, I'm not saying that's something that I want. We didn't
plan this to be the heated debate of the show. This is just come off.
Honestly, this is good fun. Like, this is a good conversation. I mean, it's something we went to this is not exactly the same thing, but we went to the US Mexico match, and that was the Scotia Bank something.
El Cachico.
Okay.
It's a cash grab.
No,
it's a cash grab.
Whatever it was. No, but I get this sign. If you put a name to it, it's something that you can definitely monetize and blah, 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 blah. You're looking at it from, I get you want it to build over time. You want something, you don't want to essentially wash away the meaning for the fans, for the community. I'm saying this is something I think this can help attract new fans. I think we might be splitting hairs on this. If they don't name the Derby after this, I'm personally fine with it. I think if they do name it, I think you probably would have issue with it. But
we don't even have identities for the teams
I'm not saying you do it now. I'm saying down the road.
Well, Tucson's down the road.
Oh, that. Wait, what? Did he just did we just witness him do a little transition, a little cheesiness right there? That was pretty good.
Move on. Should we actually wrap this whole segment up?
No, we can keep talking in circles on this, but maybe this is something we revisit down the road.
Let's finish this up actually, because we do have some comments actually from training today, from Juan Guerra and from Eddie Manjoma talking about the women's team. Let's hear what they had to say.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I'm so happy and grateful and thankful that our ownership group is giving an opportunity to so many women in the state of Arizona. So it's a clear message of what the organization wants to build. It's a clear message of how much this organization is investing and focusing in the community. And it's a great opportunity for us on the women's side to keep growing together.
I think it's amazing. It's amazing. I have a girlfriend actually who plays as well, and I know how much it means to the women's game just growing, not only in this country but all over the world. And obviously here in Arizona, I haven't been here long, but this is definitely a community that welcomes the sport and welcomes just the appreciation of the game. So I think it'd be amazing once it does kick off, and I'm excited to see it.
There we go. Excitement.
I'm glad that the team's already bought in. It's good sign to have.
Yeah, we've chilled down a little bit now.
No, it's all good conversation. I mean, listen, whenever the I-10 Derby, what were some of the other ones in the chat? Yeah, but no, there's some suggestions throw out. But whenever this matchup happens,
I mean, some of these
Desertico, some of OG's Cup, I love it.
Some of these we actually go further down.
AZ soccer teams playing each other Derby.
66th. Yeah.
Oh boy, no,
why not?
Whenever these teams,
I mean, there we go. Edward, they're hopping in with his comments about what the New Mexico one could be called, which we're not going to reference, but it has something to do with rats.
Damn it. On that point, we move on. No, but
Edward's tossing out as well a classic OJ and Simpson, which is now gets a reference in there for the Derby.
It's a good shout.
Try Hardy Derby. Okay, I like that.
I kind of like that as well. No,
why are we talking about Las Vegas Lights now?
We don't need that. We don't need that. No, whenever this matchup happens, whether it's a Derby or just a matchup, it's going to be interesting. I'm very excited for this and something that we get to look forward to next year. But, you guys could be making that trip. And while you do, you got to make sure you fuel up with our friends at Circle K, baby, just like we are with these gummy bears, a little ASMR. You can't really hear me chewing the gummy bear, but that thing gone, that gummy bear decapitated, if you will. But if you want, you can decapitate a gummy bear if you want at Circle K, but you can also get some Polar Pops. If you text PHNX, as I swallow gummy bear, to 31310, you will get a code for a BOGO Polar Pop. Again, that's PHNX to 31310. And you get Polar Pops from our friends at Circle K. We absolutely love that for them. Boom, little fancy graphic on screen. There you go. Appreciate our friends at Circle K for hooking us up with that code. Do it now. Takes you 2 darn seconds. Also, smash the like button, you freaking cretins. There's so many of you in the chat. More than 2 of you. Yeah, Jacob raises eyebrows because I call our chat cretins. I love you guys, but, you gave it right back to me. But anyway, text Circle K, like us in the chat, and also check out our friend.
Roast this
man.
You won't. Roast this man. You will. Roast him.
While you're at Circle K, you could get some 4 Peaks. You can get some 4 Peaks other places, not just Circle K, but also at their 8th Street Pub. A little kilt lifter, a pyramid, if you will. Maybe talking about the pro rel that some of you are looking for. A little pyramid of 4 Peaks.
It's a pyramid scheme. Speaking of which, San Diego announcing their new team in MLS.
Make sure to check out at 4 Peaks Brew and 4 Peaks Pub on Instagram to keep up with the latest things going on with our friends at 4 Peaks. And you must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Oh my.
All right, we're talking Rising now. Let's go.
Holy crap, that was a heated first segment, but I love it. It was good discussion, but now
it doesn't need a name.
We're moving on. We need to take a look at Rising's upcoming opponent in Orange County. Owen, we kind of talked a bit about it on Monday, and, well, I don't think our opinions have changed. Orange County, one word to describe them, please.
Bad.
Yeah. yeah, that'd be it. Orange County, not good.
Bad.
Yeah.
In fact,
I we mentioned that.
some might say incredibly poor.
Yeah, you would. We mentioned on Monday that we believe this is not just an expectation for a win, but it's a must win given this stretch of the season, given the opponents. Has your opinion changed on that at all?
No.
Have you doubled down on it?
Yes.
Very, very nice. I mean, where do you think Rising success could be against Orange County? I mean, they're not really a team with fantastic goal differential. They're not really a team who I would say is what you would call an attacking threat.
No.
Yeah. Where do you think we're going to be standout performers on Saturday's match?
Everywhere.
Oh dear gosh, this
Orange County are not
pointy.
good. Orange County are not good. I think that their season so far has been indicative of just how poor that team is, to be honest. I know I've said this before. I'm still surprised that Richard Chapler was given the short period of time at the start of this season.
Yeah.
I felt that either he should have been relieved of his duties at the end of last season, when they were just as poor back then, or he should have been... What are you doing, man?
It's hot in here. Keep going. Don't mind me. I'm just cooling down with the Four Peaks inadvertently.
Weird. But they should have either relieved him of his duties end of last season, or they should have given him more time this year. They have not done that. They relieved him of his duties way too early to me. And now what you're looking at realistically is a team that are struggling down at the foot of the table. They're actually playing Sacramento tonight. And yeah, it's not fun for them. They are really struggling. They have not won in quite a few games. In fact, again, they've won one league game so far.
Not great.
That tells you just how bad they are. They've won one, drawn two. They've played how many games?
Run of form ain't great.
10?
We'll say they last won a game.
Their run of form is atrocious.
They haven't won a game in over a month.
No, they haven't. Yeah, because
Not
they're bad. They're bad. They played 10 games. They've won one.
Indy 11
They've drawn
and
three.
that US Open Cup win.
Yeah. Bad team.
Not great.
I mean, at the same time, they've got Milan Losky, and you can never look past that guy.
No.
That player, Milan Losky, if you ignore him, no matter how badly you may think he's playing in any individual game, he'll make you pay. Yeah. Right? I'm surprised, personally, and I'm intrigued what you think about this. I'm surprised Milan Losky's still there.
Yeah.
I expected him to leave in the offseason.
I mean, when you have a player where he's kind
too
of like,
good a player,
when you have a player
especially
who's
for that bad a team,
player who's like sole contributing to a team like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just get a nice pay. Maybe he thought that this team wouldn't be quite as bad as they are. I don't know what the reason is, but like I'm very
surprised he's still there.
I'm
personally very surprised he's still there. At the same time, look, we don't have the heat map to display here for you, but Orange County, you looked at their last game, and their heat map was very much in their own half.
Yeah, I mean, it was predominantly in their own half. I think there was, if you look at the heat map with the little red marks being where they're most active, maybe saw a few spots and dots in Oakland Roots attacking defensive half. Not great, especially when you're trying to, score and win a match.
No.
You definitely need to be in higher positions. Something where I guess maybe this is a spin zone. If they are going to be positioned farther back, is this something that Rising can break down, knowing in their last match against Hartford Athletic, all their goals were either on, quick kind of countering opportunities, breakaways, a little cross in here for the last goal. But like, it's something where they've had trouble breaking down like a low block or teams that sit back. And you can say that Orange County's not going to offer up an attacking threat, which they very well might not. But if Rising wants to win, there's a good chance they have to break through that.
That's because Rising just passed the ball around sometimes. Now, we saw some good moments in transition in the last game. But when we actually break things down a little bit more and look at it, Juan says he wants transition to be better. He doesn't think he's good enough still.
Yeah.
I think he's probably right in there, which is that when you win the ball, if those opportunities are existing there to quickly break, you've got to take them. And against a team like Orange County, take them. Because I think that if you can get the early advantage of Orange County, I don't think they see a way back into this game. I just don't. I think that they are playing badly enough at the moment that even confidence will come into it. And sometimes you see that with these kind of teams. You see them go into a game, they're on a bad run of form, and then they fall behind, and you see the heads just drop.
Yeah, but I think that's Rising's issue is while we did see it against Hartford and we've seen it at times in, previous to that match, they don't always come out super strong. And I agree with you that especially a team like Orange County, their heads can drop. But man, if you can't score early, the opposite can happen. So you got to come out for Rising, taking some chances, putting the offensive pressure on them and really sustaining that attack.
Yeah. I mean, look, Danny Trejo got the goal early in that last game. You want to see that repeated, I think. If you're Rising going into this game, you want to see them get up early. You want to force Orange County out of their shell, and then you're going to punish them even more. Again, this team is not good. This team is not good, but you can't let them play like an underdog. You can't let them play as the team that realistically their talent level matches, which is a team that will sit back and take the easy route of not really trying to attack unless they have to. And they will in moments. I mean, they're at home. You can't just sit back. I think that's another complicating factor here. Sometimes when you're away from home, it can be easier on times to play through that if you're a possession-based team still, because your opponents, the home team, will feel pressured to attack. Certainly. They will feel pressured to go out and put on a positive performance in front of their home fan base. Because you find that the home fan base, if they see them just sitting back, unless you're a deep, deep underdog, like a cup game, they're not always as forgiving about that kind of negativity at home. And teams feel that pressure. Whereas I think when you go away from home, you come here to Phoenix, actually, that pressure's relieved from you. Yeah. If you can go away and pick up a point, people don't complain.
That's fair.
So I think there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, no.
But still, you've got to force the issue.
No, and it's something where Rising has to be very offensive. This is a weird transition, but someone who was unfortunately offensive in the wrong way, for Orange County, Kevin Partida. I mean, something... Yeah, not great.
Kevin Partida. Yeah, on today's International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, I think it's a good point to point out that you shouldn't be using homophobic slurs on the pitch, which got Kevin Partida a 6-game suspension.
I'll say in general, but
from USL. Yeah. In general, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kevin Partida currently suspended for that. That happened against San Diego Loyal a couple of weeks ago. He has still got a few games to serve on that one, so
it's a weird.
We won't be seeing him.
Yeah, no,
play.
Again, it's kind of weird. Here's the for those of you playing the PHNX Rising bingo. Here's the Reno 1860 FC reference. It's interesting when he was there, man. He was a prominent player for Reno 1860 FC. Did a bobblehead night for him. Sparks kid local. I guess that's just one of those things like. I don't really know how to chalk it up other than you just don't expect, at least I didn't expect this, someone from his character and how he was representing the community and everything like that. But yeah, man, just not a great look. I don't really have more to say. I don't have more to say other than don't do that.
I will say this. There were, the league statement, obviously, multiple players on the field witnessed this. He apologized to opposition players and was substituted out by the Orange County coaching staff. Orange County did immediately suspend him from team activities prior to the league's investigation coming out. The league reviewed video footage, interviewed players, officials, and coaching staffs, and the foul and abusive language panel concluded that a homophobic slur was used in violation of the league's zero-tolerance policy towards any form of harassment or discrimination. So both the player, USLPA, and the clubs have accepted the outcome of the investigation. He was fined an undisclosed amount, suspended for 6 games, and must complete mandatory sensitivity training. Yeah. He has since apologized via a Notes app apology on Twitter.
Notes.
The classic Notes app apology.
Classic Notes. It brings a bit more something to it. I don't know. Not great. We will not see him for this match. And man, something you just gotta freaking correct moving forward. There's no place in this game for those types of antics. I'm not going to even try to transition out of this. OG's brands, OG's brands maybe can help cooler heads prevail if you take the indica and whatnot, right? They have it's so awkward. There's a variety of different...
Don't transition I'm not. Don't transition.
Did you just transition hate speech into an ad?
I said I didn't! I said I didn't! I said there is no good transition for this. I just started...
But then you started trying to transition it about cooler our heads. Just read the ad, Max.
You guys want to read that?
Just read it. Go.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
No, the Cooler Heads had nothing to do with that. No, Cooler Heads in general. Cooler Heads in general. Take some OGs if you guys are interested. They have the fruits, the watermelon and the apple and everything like that. They also have the creams, the orange creamsicle, the blackberries and creams, and of course, our friend, close personal friend, Snoop Dogg, peaches and cream. Absolutely loves that. Check out our friends at OG's
New
Brands.
one dropping in June as well, new flavor?
Oh, of course, I mean the pink lemonade. Come
Mhm.
on.
Oh, yeah.
He remembers. Check out our
He says them so often that I remember these by now.
He does. Check out our friends at OG's Brands. That's OGEEZ brands.com to check them out at a dispensary near you. And you must be 21 plus years or older to enjoy responsibly. Something that we enjoyed responsibly, both of us being 21 plus years or older. Valley Tap Room. And, we
won the trivia last
we
night.
said before we got second place, buddy. We got the dub. I kind of carry the team, if I'm being honest, with a couple. What
Did
do
you
mean?
really? I think you'll find that Devin in our chat is quickly positioning himself as the new ad man since he got the one brand question right. You couldn't work it out, Max.
I like to think that I took him under my wing.
The brand out.
I took him under my wing, and I said, "Hey,
That's your armpit, Max.
that's the wing. It's a wing for those of you who can see on
You
screen.
don't have wings.
Just peacock, you gotta let me fly." But no, I want to say I took him under my proverbial and literal wing and said, "Hey, Devin, this is how you become Ad Man Apprentice. You answer questions like this." And boy, did he ever. We won first. We didn't win a trophy. We didn't win anything other
We
than
had a lot of
pride.
beers.
And that's okay. We did get the beers. No, you were not new Ad Man. No. But hey, we won. It was a great time. Check out our friends at Valley Tap Room for all the great things they have going on. Happy hour every day this week. They have karaoke this Saturday from 6 to 10. Check out everything amazing they have going on at the 202 and Gilbert, and check them out at Valley Tap Room.
Before we move on, though,
Yes.
we should actually just get... Juan did speak a little bit about Orange County earlier today, so let's have a quick listen to him.
Well, the past games they've played in a 4-3-3 and in a possession-based squad, but they also are not afraid if they're under press to play balls behind. They have two wingers that can create problems with time and space, and they have a number 9 that has a very good hold-up play. So we're gonna have to try to interrupt their build-up moments as much as we can to try to put them under pressure. But also then it's important, what are we doing when we have the ball? I told you last game, is there something that I've learned and I keep growing as a coach, is that you understand that in this league you're not going to be able to control 100% of the games. And when we do game plans or when we do analysis, is that okay, what are we doing when we're controlling the game, but also how are our behaviors in those percentages that you're not controlling the game? Because you're going to go to Orange County and I'm going to tell you we're not going to be able to control 100% of the game. We want to and we would try it, but we're not going to be able to. So it's what are we doing in those moments we're going to have to deep defend? What are we doing when we're defending set pieces? How we defend transitions? And I think that percentage that is going to be less than the one we controlled is going to be the one that is going to dictate if we're going to be able to come back with 3 points or not.
Sustain the pressure, man. It's raising the level, which we've seen them do at spurts, but it's doing it consistently is the name of the game. It's something, it seems from match to match, they differ. The level kind of fluctuates. Come on, man. Like against these types of 3 matches that we keep on saying, going away from home, it's always tough. Bring 3 points home, elevate the level, keep it going, and we move.
Yeah, and just some other points here that aren't necessarily related to this game, but more updates from Juan today. Gabi Torres is re-entering training. He's in the process of getting more involved. He, of course, is not up to speed. It's been a while. But he's out there. He's getting involved in part. Emil Cuello, there's hope still that he'll be back next week. Obviously, he's suffered setbacks along the way of this recovery. They've been waiting for him to be ready to come back, and it's taken longer than they'd hoped. But there's that. There's other guys. Erickson Gallardo, who missed the last game. Mo Traore. A lot of hope that these are guys that could be back in the mixer next week.
100%. It's going to be, those are exciting updates. It's something, keep on trending forward, keep on bringing the cavalry out. We love to see that. Edward, I actually do like to see that. Thank you. OGs are pretty tasty. Honestly, go buy them. Everyone, listen to the man. He's a smart man. Real quick, someone who's not a smart man, Bendo's Bluebird. Devin is taller than Max. I would like to see that. My head is not even in frame right now. That's how tall I am. I am a 5'10" where you round up to 6 feet. Okay, well, he's not.
Max.
He's not taller than me. I refuse to believe that. But
he might actually be.
All right,
to be fair,
I'm gonna live in denial. Then, shall we move to some notable USL matchups up ahead?
Should we?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm proposing to you.
Should we? Well, there's also a game actually today that's already happened. So we can mention that. Loudoun United.
It was
1.
It was 1.
New Mexico United. 3.
Any
Kevin
former Rising
Ryden was
players?
sent off in that game. Any former Rising
score?
players scored? No.
Okay, got it.
Greg Hurst did come off the bench.
And Santi Moar started.
Santi Moar started and was replaced. He did pick up a yellow card. Kevin Ryden was sent off. The goals from Amanda Moreno, Chris Wehan, and Sergio Rivas. And a penalty from Thomas Williamson for Loudoun late in the day.
Dueling Reno 18x68 FC connection there with
He
goals.
keeps mentioning Reno.
I'm just saying.
They're dead. They're dead, Max. Move on.
I am.
They're gone.
Listen,
They're gone.
It doesn't happen all the time. I'm just shouting it out. But, going around the USL, a notable matchup, something that happens tonight. What's the scoreline going to be for Orange County versus Sacramento?
Sack will batter him.
Yeah, but do we have a scoreline?
Sack will batter him.
Chat, can I get a score prediction for that match? Little Orange County, Sacramento. Are we going to see? Is Orange County going to put up a point, or excuse me, a goal at home?
Put up a goal now.
No goal.
No.
Get shut out.
I'm going Sack all the way.
Okay.
Heavy on that one. So remember, games to look to going ahead to the weekend. We'll start with some of the ones that are in exclusive time zones because we love those. We love getting the chance to watch games and not have them clash with other games, don't we, Max?
Of course we do.
So Friday night, 6 p.m. Arizona time, FC Tulsa taking on Memphis 901.
Yeah.
6 on Friday. And Saturday, an early game, 2 p.m. Arizona time, Charleston Battery taking on Monterey Bay FC.
I mean, it's going to be a juicy one.
It will be indeed. It will be indeed. Some other ones that are worth noting. Of course, Rising will face Las Vegas Lights in the near future, i.e. the following weekend.
Yep.
So, Pittsburgh Riverhounds are hosting them. We'll see what kind of a fight they put up there.
Yep.
Some of the games that are actually of any interest. San Diego Loyal, after their loss at home, 2 home losses in a row for San Diego Loyal. They're on the road this weekend. They will be playing Miami FC. That game at 4 p.m. Arizona time on Saturday. One of the other games, I think, is the up-down team. Up-down team of the year.
Yo-yo.
Birmingham Legion.
Yo-yo.
They will be playing El Paso. They'll be hosting El Paso at Protective Stadium. That game at a 4:30 p.m. Arizona time kickoff. And then as we look to some of the other games, RGV coming off of that win, actually.
Yep.
Against San Diego Loyal. They'll host Tampa Bay Rowdies. Can Tampa Bay keep the momentum of the previous week going? They put a lot of goals on Detroit City. Can they do it? Actually, we should mention Detroit in there, 4:30. They're hosting San Antonio FC.
And that's the thing I was going to ask you, because I'm seeing a lot of scores that we asked for Orange County versus Sac. I'm going to assume all of those score lines, the 3-1 and the 4-0, are in favor of Sacramento. What is going to be the larger goal differential? Is it Orange County, Sacramento, or Detroit City versus San Antonio?
San Antonio.
That's fair.
I think they could. I don't know, actually, to be fair there, because San Antonio scored a lot of goals last year, and sometimes you get teams that, quite frankly, it sounds weird to say it, but they burn out their goals, don't they? You see teams that will score like 7 in one game, and then they come out the next week and they struggle for 1 or 2.
Do either of these two bottom feeders have a chance at home against those teams?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That was an easy question I expected to answer.
To me, I'd say no.
I
mean, it's USL, so you never know. But
I'm curious the chat disagrees,
I feel like
but
they're
that's
both
fair.
very weak teams.
They are.
I will say this one clashes with Rising, but of course the Northern California derby in Sacramento and Oakland Roots.
So throwing out derby names.
Doesn't have a name. It's just a reference to the geographical area. That name doesn't stick, man.
Oh my. Yeah, lots of noteworthy ones, especially before Rising's match.
I feel like I just ran through most of the games. The ones I didn't mention, if anyone's interested: Indy 11 playing Colorado Springs, Hartford playing Loudoun, and I think that's it. Actually, I think we mentioned every other game.
Owen Evans. Let's run through a couple of notable games. Also, Owen Evans.
It's
the entire
USL Championship. Every game's notable.
Okay. They're all notable, but
there's lots of storylines.
There is actually. Well, speaking of notable storylines, there are actually, and I'm glad we ran through USL. There's a couple noteworthy competitions and battles going on. I believe it was Devin or Edward, who asked earlier in the chat if I placed any bets on BetMGM for the Champions League. And we now have those fixture sets in the final. And
for the championship playoffs.
Yes, I was getting into that, but I'll say that I did place some bets, and we're not going to talk about whether I won or lost those.
So he lost.
That's neither here nor there.
So he lost.
That's neither here nor there.
Lost.
Okay. All we know is
he lost.
Okay. Anyway,
he lost. He lost.
I
lost.
I didn't win.
He didn't win.
Right, anyway, moving on and completely editing that out later. The Champions League final, Manchester City, Inter Milan. Is this the year that Pep doesn't pep it up, puts a pep in his step, and carries Manchester City to victory?
Nah.
Dang.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, I know. You don't like that lowbrow football.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I care about real leagues like USL Championship and.
Chad, I'm curious to get your thoughts real quick. Let me know. Man City, Inter. Let us know the winner there. But also, that was not the only notable competition going on in Europe, and not the notable one going on in England, because we had a game today. That was a good game for promotion into the Premier League.
The Middlesbrough Coventry game. Yes. Yeah, we had it on actually on the TV.
Yes, we did. That was exciting.
Hell of a goal, actually, that one. The one that was scored. I thought that he'd done too much with it, Gustavo Hammer, but he actually gets it back into the goal. Now, we say it's a hell of a game. You actually look at the stats, a total of 3 shots on target.
I mean, not the game, but like just the pressure of, like, especially you're going at home, you're fighting for that last Middlesbrough fighting for that goal at home, doesn't end up coming, and so you have Coventry and Luton Town in the battle on May 27th at Wembley for promotion in the Champions League.
And this is one I've actually had in chat. I want you to hop in here, please, and shame some of my colleagues who are like talking about Coventry as though they're this like bad team.
You went off. Yeah, you went off.
As though they're this like, minnow. They're really not. They spent 35 years uninterrupted in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a minnow. They've had a bad run, okay? But to act as though it would be surprising to see Coventry in the Premier League, I don't think is accurate. They've had a very bad run. Their last 20 years have been very poor. Okay, they've only been trending in a negative direction. But it's going into Milan and Coventry. Luton Town to win, says Devin, actually. Some of the everything's fixed the stadium.
Okay.
I don't know. To me, that's the thing. I think Coventry are a bigger team by a lot than Luton. Luton are a small team. Okay? They've had spells in the Premier League before, so it's not completely alien to them, but they are a small team. Coventry aren't.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It'll be very interesting to see who comes out of those. Lots of great matchups to look forward to in Europe, and of course,
Coventry. I was at the 2018 League Two playoff final actually, and they filled their end at Wembley.
I mean, that'd be a really
in League Two.
That'd be a fantastic story. It'd be really cool.
Well, Luton also would be 9 years from non-league to
That's what I'm
Premier
saying.
League.
Yeah,
there's a lot of interesting things there.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting seeing how those competitions unfold. And of course, the USL Championship. Actually, one thing that we did not get to that I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put the chat on the spot. We actually do need a score prediction for Saturday.
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
So you're saying that PHNX Rising FC will get their first clean sheet of the season in Orange County?
Yeah, 2-0. Go 2-0.
You know what I'm going to go?
You're going to go 2-0 as well?
But I like to think I said it first. We're gonna
he didn't say it first. I said it first.
We're going to flip it. But yeah, I also...
No, you're not going to flip it. I said it first.
Flip you. We're gonna go to. Someone else is gonna go to Jacob. I'm also gonna go 2-0 in favor of PHNX Rising. I don't know what this game is gonna be.
We gotta cut this short. The NVR Rapids are gonna be on live soon, and they lost 4-0.
Hop in their chat.
We gotta hop in their chat.
Hop in the chat.
Join us over there.
DNVR Sports. Go to the Rapids podcast. Do it now.
But 2-0 Rising is what I'm saying for Orange County. I'm gonna say Danny Trejo, and I'm gonna say, you know what, that man Carlos Harvey's gonna do it again.
Oh my gosh. I'm seeing a lot of 2-1s. Ben Bluebird 2-1. Interesting. No one really believing in the clean sheet, which, I mean, honestly, given the track record so far this season, I don't blame them. In my 2-0, give me, I don't care. It's going to be an unpopular pick. I'll take Manuel Arteaga and give me, give me, I think I picked him one time and it didn't come off. Juan Mayor. Why not?
He's going for Juan Mayor.
Yeah, sure.
Juan Mayor. There we go.
Yeah, why not? I like it. Take it to the bank. Maybe. Anyway, I think that's everything we have. We got to go troll DNVR Rapids for a bit, but we appreciate you guys joining us. Again, catch us during the post game, of course, after Saturday's match. But you can also catch us before Saturday's match on our pregame show. Again, that's going to be starting at 6:30 on AZ Families Network. Make sure to catch them there. And yeah, man, I think that's just about darn everything we've covered today. You can follow us on Twitter at PHNX__Rising because double the
fun.
I'm gonna be honest. I was
Double
waiting.
the wins. Actually,
I was waiting for something. Yeah, that.
You're waiting for something witty.
Well, yeah, kind of a tinge in your tone there. This man is literally already on the freaking TBR.
We're gonna go wind them up.
Of course. Oh gosh. Well, we got to go do that. So yeah, follow the show PHNX__Rising. Follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. Follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. And yeah, we will see you guys on Saturday. But until then, adios.